Welcome, everyone. This is Series 168. HBM here with you. A historical baseball matchup has another great matchup, and this one is an inter-franchise rivalry. It's going to be Cardinals versus Cardinals in this one. It happens every now and then with our randomizer. We get two teams from the same franchise facing off against each other. It always makes things interesting, especially if you're a fan of the team. This is Series 168. We continue to roll along here with you. We're using Out of the Park Baseball 21 as our game engine. And as always, welcome. It's great to have you. And let's go ahead and introduce these two Cardinal teams that I think are going to provide a good series for us. So first of all, the 1975 St. Louis Cardinals, led by Red Schoendienst. They were 82-80. Third in the NL East for the Cardinals in 75. Looking at their team, they had a young Ted Simmons at catcher. He hit .332. The Hall of Famer, 18 home runs and 100 RBIs, led the team in both those categories. Well, almost in home runs, but not quite. So Simmons, one of the best catchers you had during that era, just a very, very productive player. Also defensively, definitely someone to keep an eye out for in this series. Lou Brock at 36, he hit .309, still stole 56 bases. Brock still able to move and run and get some havoc going on the bases. Reggie Smith, he hit 19 and 76 RBIs. He hit .302. So all three of those players did quite well. And a 21-year-old Keith Hernandez only played in 64 games, but Hernandez, of course, was going to have a big career as well. But he just comes on the scene here as a kid, really, to be part of this team. Ken Reitz at third base. You got Bake McBride in center. He hit .300. Also stole 26 bases. And Ted Sizemore is the second baseman with Mike Tyson. Not the boxer, but the baseball player. Playing shortstop, he hit .266 in his 122 games. Willie Davis got into 98 games. He hit .291 with 50 RBIs, the best option off the bench. For the pitching, you still have here some good arms. Bob Forsch, I think, is the best. He's 15-10 with a .286 ERA. 4 shutouts for Forsch. He went 230 innings, had a good year with that good ERA. Struck out 108. And Lynn McLaughlin, he went 15-13, .392 for him, a little bit higher ERA, but struck out a few more batters. He also had 2 shutouts. Ron Reed, 9-8 in his work. John Denny, 10-7. And there you have a 39-year-old Bob Gibson who's winding it down. 3-10 for Gibby, ERA over 5. You can see age has caught up to him. He didn't have quite the years that obviously he had in his prime or even close to it. Eric Rasmussen with some starts. I don't know if we'll see Gibson. We might. We'll see how it's played out by Schoendienst. But Forsch and McLaughlin, the aces of this staff. Al Hrabowski, he's the closer. 22 saves for him. Great record, 13-3. He pitched in 97 innings as a reliever. Give you an idea. John Curtis, he started in 18 games. He got quite a few innings as well, 8-9 for him. And there you see some of the other arms, including Elias Sosa. So a pretty deep staff. A number of people got starts for the Cardinals that season, and their hitting's pretty decent as well. And they did have the winning record at 82-80. So the 75 Cardinals, not a bad team, and they're going to face off against a team from the 80s, different type of ball style. Of course, the 1988 St. Louis Cardinals, led by Whitey Herzog. This is a year after they had won the pennant. But they had a down year in 88. They went 76-86, fifth in the NL East, kind of the end of their run there of unbelievable seasons. But still talent-laden are the 88 Cardinals. We're looking at the team here. Tony Pena at 31 years old. He was their catcher. He hit 10 long ones. Obviously a great defensive performer. Bob Horner didn't play much. He got into 60 games. He only hit 3 homers with .257. His career starting to take a little bit of a downswing. Ozzie Smith, of course, his unbelievable glove, but also a good year for Ozzie. .270, 57 steals, 51 RBIs. Very, very productive. Terry Pendleton, .253 for him, 6 home runs, 53 RBIs. Vince Coleman, 81 steals. Still very, very productive on the bases for Coleman. He hit .260 and scored 77 runs. Willie McGee hit .292. 50 RBIs, and Tom Bernansky with 79 RBIs and 22 home runs for him. .245 average, a little bit lower. Pedro Guerrero on this team. Jose Oquendo hit .277 with over 125 hits. and Tom Pagnozzi also on this team. So the speed's there, a different type of team these Cardinals were. They love to run. Not a lot of pop, but a lot of speed on the turf, especially at Busch Stadium. Pitching-wise, this is maybe a little bit more of a strength for them. Maybe here you see Jose De Leon, 13-10 with a 367 for him. Joe McGrain, 5-9 at 218. John Tudor at 34 years old, he went 6-5. Danny Cox, 3-8, and Greg Matthews, 4-6. So maybe no real ace, but the Cardinals did field the team with some pretty solid pitchers. No real weak spots, but I guess no real stars. Todd Worrell, the closer, 32 saves for Worrell, 5-9 for him. A good closer indeed. Larry McWilliams, Scott Terry, Ken Daly, part of that pen that maybe wasn't the strongest pen in the league. And then there's Bob Forsch, who's also on that 75 team. He's still on the 88 team, 373. He started 12 games, so interestingly enough, Forsch a contributor on both these teams. So both of these teams will play at Busch Stadium, and they are not too far away from history, 13 years. But the 75 team was the better team record-wise, even though the 88 team was coming off some better success and maybe in a lot of baseball experts' eyes might even be the favorite in this series. All the games will be at Busch Stadium. Obviously, that's the home for both teams, so that'll make things easier. Of course, as far as the home team, that'll be designated as the 75 Cardinals for the first two games, and then the middle portion will be the 88 team. So we'll see what Whitey Herzog can do against Red Sowendice's team in this best-of-7 series 168. It is all Cardinals, the 75 Cardinals versus the 88 Cardinals. I'm looking at game one. Our pitching matchup, Jose De Leon against Bob Forsch for the game one action in this best-of-7. So, ready to go, heading out for Busch Stadium for all the games of the series. But let's start off with game one as the 75 Cardinals host the 1988 Cardinals. Let's head out to the field. Go ahead and move on the plate and stop first there. And here's the delivery. This ball's hit on the ground at first. Play will be made there by Hernandez for the first out. Game moves to the bottom of first. Full count, and the Cardinals of 75 have the bases loaded here. Reggie Smith at the plate. There's a strikeout. So Smith is the first out. And Ron Fairley now the hitter. Fairley hits it to second. Nice play there, but the ball gets away, and on the board first is going to be the home team. As we have an error there. 1-0 our score, and Mike Tyson the hitter. Tyson hits this one to first. Play made at second. No play at first. The home team will get another run. It is 2-0. Now it's 2-1. Top of the second for Kurt Ford. Runners on the corner. And Ford will hit this one to center field with only one out. That's deep, so this might score a run. Caught there in center field. No play at the plate. It is 2-2 our score. To the third inning, Jose Oquendo up there with the man on second. Oquendo takes ball 4, so with one out. And now runners on the corners for the 88 team, and Tony Pena, the hitter. Pena hits it too short. Play made at first. They only get one, and a run will score here for the visitors. It's going to be 3-2. Mike Tyson now the hitter, bottom of the third. Tyson will line a single here to right field with a man on, so with nobody out, first and second for the home team. And Keith Hernandez at the plate. Hernandez swings through it, strike 3. So they're 2 outs now. Ted Sizemore, the hitter, 3-2 game. Sizemore lines this one to short. Great play there by Ozzie Smith. Only the Hall of Famer makes plays like that. He gets him. That'll end the inning. 3-2 our score. To the fourth we go. It's 4-2. Mike McBride, the hitter. McBride goes to second. That's going to be a double play. So again, the 88 Cardinal defense showing up here. We're in the fifth. Fairly up with the man on first. This one's lined to left field all the way to the wall. Could it be? Home run! Ron Fairley puts the home team back even, I should say. 4-4 the score. A long opposite field home run. And we are even here in game one. Sixth inning now. Terry Pendleton at the plate facing Ken Reynolds. Pendleton lines it to third. Great play there. But the ball gets away on the throw, and we got a runner on second. Pendleton makes it all the way on the error. And Tommy Herr, the hitter. Herr lifts this one deep, and it is caught, however, in left field to end the inning. The game remains 4-4. Bottom of the sixth. There's a walk. So 2 men on here for the home team. Scott Terry faces Bake McBride. Nobody out. 3-2 pitch. He strikes him out there. Gets the corner. Strike 3. And Ken Reitz now the hitter. Reitz will hit this one to right field. It is caught. So 2 down. 4-4 game. Ted Simmons the hitter. Ball 4 outside. So now the base is loaded here for the home team. And Reggie Smith the hitter. Terry delivers. This ball hit to right field. Look up. Could it be? Grand slam. Yes, sir. A bases clearing long ball into the night. Reggie Smith makes it 8-4 on Granny. Deep into the upper deck in right field. 8-4 our score. We're in the ninth now. Sadecki's come on to face Pena with 2 outs. Strike 3, that's it, and game 1 is over. It was a tight one, but the slam changes everything, and the 75 Cardinals take game 1, 8-4. Smith with the grand slam in the 6th inning off Terry. That was the difference as the game was tied up at 4. Kurt Flood went 2 for 2. He had 2 RBIs, and Ron Fairley also hit a home run for the home team. 3 RBIs for him. Reynolds the win, Terry the loss, and the hero Reggie Smith, of course, with the long home run. A lot of errors in this game, not the best or cleanest game you've ever seen, but the 75 team will definitely take it, and they get out in front early 1-0, and now moving to game 2. It's Joe McGrain against John Denny in another good matchup. We'll see if the game is more crisp and better, but let's see if the 88 team can come back and tie the series. So coming up now, Busch Stadium, of course, again. Game 2 of this best of 7. It's the 75 Cardinals against the 88 Cardinals. As he Smith up now to lead off the ball game. Smith puts down a bunt. It's a good one. So it is going to go foul, and he's going to be out. So the 2nd inning now, Terry Pendleton, the hitter. Pendleton goes to second base. Play made there at second. Relay to first. Double play. Pendleton hits it to a 4-6-3. To the 5th inning, scoreless. Kurt Ford, the hitter. Outside, so runners first and second. The pitcher up, Joe McGrain. He'll strike out, and that will end the frame, so the scoreless game continues. Bottom of the 5th, Keith Hernandez up with a man on. Hernandez goes to third, and a quick double play there by the 88 team. To the 8th inning, still scoreless. What a pitching matchup we got going on. Vince Coleman, the hitter, nobody out. Want to keep him off the bases. Coleman, however, will drop this one to left field, so great speed on there. Kurt Ford, the hitter. This ball's grounded to short. No play to be made. It'll be an infield hit, so first and second now. McGreen, the hitter, he's going to stay in the game and put down a bunt. He'll move the runners, so second and third, only one out. Mike Garman, the new pitcher, and Ozzie Smith with the infield in. A big chance. Smith will go to short. They'll hold the runners. He throws the man out. And now Willie McGee, the hitter. McGee lines a single to right field. That's going to score one, maybe two. Willie McGee coming through here with a two-run single in the 8th inning. It's 2-0. What a clutch hit by McGee. Hernandez now the hitter. We're in the bottom of the 8th. And Hernandez will lace a single down to right field with nobody out. Melendez now the hitter against Ken Daly. That's flying to center field. Another hit. So they're on first and second. Lou Brock the hitter. Brock's going to pop this one up. Should be caught. It is. But he dropped it. An error out there. We got an error by the second baseman, and that moves the runners along. I thought he had it, but he does muff it. A big error. And the base is loaded now with nobody out. Okendo with a humongous error there. And Bake McBride with a huge chance. Infield in. This one's hit to the pitcher. He'll go home. He's got the force. So they get the big out at the plate. Daly now faces Tyson. Tyson hits it to left field. Let's see what happens here. The catch is going to be made. The runner's going to tag. It is 2-1. 2-1 our score. Ted Simmons, the hitter. They're 2 out. Full count. He walks him. So the base is loaded here in the 8th. Everything on the line. It's going to be up to the hero of Game 1, Reggie Smith. Could he do it again? But no, he takes strike 3, inside corner. Daly strikes him out, and this game remains 2-1. 2 outs now for Bob Horner. We're in the 9th. Horner will line a single to right, maybe extra bases. Horner has a double here in the 9th inning with 2 outs. But we move bottom of the 9th. Worrell trying to close it out. Here's Ron Fairley. Line single into left field. That's a great start for the home team. Fairley's going to end up at second. It's a double. And he's the tying run now, and the winning run coming to the plate. Ted Sizemore against Worrell. Now nobody out. Grounded to second. Nice play there. Easy out by Okendo, but the tying run on third. Great job by Sizemore to move him along. And here's Keith Hernandez. Can the youngster come through? Here's the pitch. Strike 3. He got him. Worrell gets him on a 2-2 pitch on the inside corner. Hernandez didn't like it, but the call's made, and it comes now down to Melendez. 2 outs. 9th inning. Ground ball to short. Ozzie's got it. That'll do it. The 88 team wins Game 2, 2-1. A great ball game, great pitching, much better played than Game 1, but the result now is an even series at 1-1. Joe McGrane, he gets the win for the visitors. John Denny, he gets the loss. Willie McGee with the difference in the game, a 2-run single in the 8th inning. That's what was needed at the time. It was a scoreless ball game. Worrell gets the save. He sweated it out in the 9th. The home team had their chances, just couldn't convert them. And now this series is all even. So we now continue into the middle portion with the 88 team now the home side. We obviously stay at Busch Stadium for the entire series, but it's been a good series so far. Both teams playing well. We had the Grand Slam that decided Game 1 and the McGee single that decided Game 2. So Game 3 coming up. Lynn McLaughlin is going to take on John Tudor in a big matchup. Now it's a best-of-5 series. Both teams able to play in their home ballpark as Cardinals versus Cardinals is turning into a good one. So let's head out now to Busch Stadium again. Game 3 of this best-of-7. We are tied 1 game apiece. So Big McBride up here in the first innings, top of the first, game number 3. Series tied at 1. Here's the delivery, and this is hit to second base. Plays made there, so this game's on their way. Bottom of the first, we got Tony Pena up with a man on. And this one hit deep to left field, way back there, looking at the wall. Home run, Tony Pena. Getting all of it, a 2-run blow, and it is 2-0 for the 88 team. They break up here early in the very first inning. To the fourth, Bob Horner up with the bases loaded. Lynn McLaughlin in all kinds of trouble. This one's lined the center field, way back there off the wall in center. Horner's going to make it to second base. He's got a double. 2-run score. It's 4-0 now. 5-0 in the fifth. Tony Pena back at the plate. And Pena goes deep to right this time. Way back there. Could it be another one? Number 2 for Pena. 6-0. 88 Cardinals. They go up using the long ball. And 7-1 now in the 7th. Bases loaded for Vince Coleman. Coleman's going to line a single to right field. That's going to score more runs for the home team. Yes, indeed, a 2-run single. It is 9-1 now. We move to the 9th. Carpenter facing Melendez. 2 outs. This one's lifted to right field. Should be caught. It is, and that's a wrap for game number 3. It's the 1988 Cardinals who win in convincing fashion here. 9-2. Tony Pena went deep twice. He was 3 for 3. John Tudor the win. He pitched 7 strong, 1 earned run. Vince Coleman 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run. We also saw a big hit in the 4th inning with the bases loaded. That scored 2. And McLaughlin gets the loss. He got hammered pretty good in this one, which really wasn't a contest. It turned out being quite lopsided for the home team. The 1988 Cardinals now get the advantage in this series. We always said they're a much better team than what their record shows. And here's an injury to catcher Ted Simmons. So that's not going to help the 75 Cardinals as they try now to make a run back into the series. Looking at Simmons, let's take a look. He has a viral infection. He'll be out for 4 days, and that's really going to hurt them because he's a solid contributor here. But going back to the win, the 88 team, we were saying, hey, they're much better than the record shows, and they are proving it here in this series, playing some very good baseball, and now they got the edge 2-1. So looking now at game 4, Eric Rasmussen is going to take on Danny Cox in another crucial game where the 75 team will try to get back on track and even things up, while the 88 team really wants to pull away, and if nothing better, end this series on their terms, on their home field. So let's head out now to game number 4 as this series continues. 2-1, the series lead right now to the 88 Cards. Strike 3 call, so he's out of the strike, so we have Reggie Smith with the man on. Reggie Smith goes deep to left field, opposite field, to the wall. Reggie Smith, a 2-run home run, his second of the series, and it's 2-0. 1975's Cardinals take the lead on the Reggie Smith home run. To the second now, McBride back up there with the man on second. He lines it to left field. That's going to be dropped out there. Coleman can't handle it. He drops it. A run scores. Vince Coleman, an embarrassing error, and it's 3-0 now. To the third, Coleman now at the plate. And Coleman rips one deep to right field. To the wall. Could it be Coleman with the home run? A rarity for the little outfielder. He takes it out, and it's 3-1. Making up for that error, Vince Coleman with a solo home run. To the fourth, Tony Pena, the hitter. His team down 2. Pena drives it deep to right. Could it be? Up against the wall it goes. Runner heading to third. So second and third, Pena with a good series continuing. He has a double. And Terry Pendleton's the hitter. Pendleton will lift this one to right. Catch is made out there. Here's the throw to the plate. He's safe. 3-2 our score. And Bob Horner, the hitter. Horner takes a pitch outside. That's ball 4. And Coleman back up there facing Rasmussen. 1 out. Coleman's late. Strike 3. Kurt Ford, the hitter. Ford will hit this one to third. They get the forced second, so the score remains 3-2. To the fifth, Willie McGee, the hitter. McGee hits one hard to right. That ball's going to get down against the wall. McGee with the double. So second and third for Oquendo. 3-2 game. This one's lifted to center field. It's caught. Here comes the throw. It's a good one. They're going to get the runner by a mile. He's on at the plate. Great throw out there by McBride, and this game remains 3-2 to the 6th inning. Keith Hernandez at the plate, and Hernandez will line one hard into the corner. That's going to score a run. That's going to make the score 4-2 now. Hernandez with an RBI double. 5-2 our scores. We move to the 8th inning. Oquendo now at the plate. The home team down 3. There's a shot up the middle. A base hit for Oquendo to lead off the 8th inning. Pena now at the plate. And Pena will line one to right field. So another hit. Back-to-back hits here. Tying run comes to the plate. Terry Pendleton. Pendleton will strike out swinging. And Bob Horner at the plate. He provides some good power. But Horner takes a walk, so the base is loaded. 1 out for Vince Coleman, who's already homered. And Coleman will pop it up. That should be playable. It is. The shortstop's got it. And now Tom Pagnazzi up there. It's a 5-3 game. Runners on second and third. And Pagnazzi lines it down the right field corner. That's going to tie the game. Tom Pagnazzi, a huge hit here to bring the 75 team back into it. Fans on their feet. Clutch hit by Pagnazzi on a 3-1 pitch. 5-5 our score. Alicea now the hitter. He goes the first. Play made. That'll end it. But a tie game after the 75 Cardinals put up 3. We go to the 9th. Ted Sizemore now the hitter. Sizemore grounds this one to short. Plays made there by Ozzie Smith. 2 outs now for McBride. McBride will single up the middle, so there's a hit with 2 outs. Ken Reitz the hitter. 9th inning. Tie game. Pitch outside, runner moving, and he's going to steal second. McBride with the steal. He's now in scoring position. Strike 3. But there's a strikeout on an off-speed pitch. That will end the frame. We move to the bottom of the 9th. 5-5 tie. Al Hrabowski's the hitter, and Ozzie Smith is going to fly out to center field. 2 outs here for Oquendo. Oquendo lines a single up the middle here with 2 outs. He's the winning run. Tony Pena, the hitter. Pena will pop this one up. That'll be easy. So we have extra innings here in Game 5. We're tied at 5. Ted Simmons, the hitter. Simmons loops this one. It'll be caught, however. No, it's not caught. It gets past the shortstop Smith there, so runner on first, nobody out. Ken Daly pitches. There's a strikeout. Smith strikes out swinging. Here's Ron Fairley. Fairley will single to center field, so we got 2 on, 1 out here in the 10th inning, and Ken Rudolph the hitter. Rudolph goes to short, play at second, relay to first, double play. Bottom of the 10th now, we're tied at 5. Terry Pendleton facing Ray Sadecki. This ball's hit into left field. It's going to be caught, however. Bob Horner, the hitter, with 1 out. Horner lines a single to left field. And Vince Coleman, the hitter, with 1 out. Coleman looks at strike 3 looking, so he's out. And Tom Lawless to pinch hit here in the 10th. Lawless also strikes out, so this game will move to the 11th. We're still tied at 5, and here's Keith Hernandez against Ken Daly. Hernandez goes to the mound. Play made there at first. He's out. 2 out here for Ed Brinkman. Brinkman will hit this one to third. Plays made there, so we'll move to the bottom of the 11th. All tied up at 5. Elias Sosa, the new pitcher, and Jim Lindman, the hitter. Lindman hits one to left. That will be caught for the first out here in the 11th. Ozzie Smith, the hitter. 2-2 pitch. Smith goes down the line. That's just fair, and it's going to be extra bases. The Wizard on at second base with a double with only 1 out. He represents the winning run. And Willie McGee now, as the fans get to their feet, has a chance. He will hit it to center field. Diving catch, and it is made. What a catch by McBride for the second out, saving maybe the game. Holy cow, what a play by McBride. Here's Oquendo. But this one is lined in the right. It's going to drop. Here comes Ozzie Smith, throw to the plate. Not in time, and the Cardinals have won it on the Oquendo single. In the 11th inning, they win this one 6-5 as Ozzie Smith broke on the play and ends up scoring to end this one in 11. Oquendo ends the game 4 for 6 with 2 runs scored. Ozzie Smith 4 for 6, a double and a run. And Eric Rasmussen pitched well early. The winner, though, is Ken Daly. The loser, Elias Sosa. The game goes 11 innings, 6-5 the final. Smith with the home run. Coleman went deep. A good ball game. But right now it's the 88 Cardinals who sneak away with the win and now have a 3-1 series advantage. And they are poised maybe to end this thing as they got one more home game to go. It's going to be game number 5. And now the 75 team with their backs against the wall are going to need some real comeback and some real fortitude. It's going to be Bob Forsch taking the mound. They will send their ace against Jose De Leon in Game 5. They're up against it. This Cardinal matchup coming to a dramatic point here to see who will move on. Can the 88 team wrap it up and win all 3 at home? Let's go out to Busch Stadium and find out what the next phase is, or the next chapter of this series is going to be, and will it be the final chapter? So let's head out live for game number 5. Big McBride at the plate to open up this ball game. He hits it to center field. It's playable for the first down of the game. It's Gary Pendleton to the 4th inning to score this game. Runners on the corners. Pendleton hits it deep into left field to the wall. Pendleton, 3-run home run to the opposite field. A liner that was. And it is now 3-0 for the 88 Cardinals as they have all their eyes on ending this series. It's 4-0 now. Kurt Ford at the plate. Ford will line a single up the middle. More runs here for the home team. 2 more score. 6-0. Now the score here for the 88 Cardinals and Whitey Herzog. And they're looking for more. Ozzie Smith now at the plate against Sosa. And Smith will rip it into the gap. 2 more runs home. It is 8-0 as Ozzie Smith, he gets the double. (10-1) now, bottom of the 8th inning. Jose Oquendo up with men on first and second. Oquendo rips it deep to left field. This one at the wall of the track. Home run, Oquendo. It is 13-1 Cardinals. And they are destroying their franchise opponents in this one. 13-1 the score. Through the 9th, Mike Tyson facing Carpenter, who's been brilliant. Popped up to center field. And that should do it. It does. The 1988 Cardinals win this one and the series 4-1. They win all 3 at home and actually win 4 in a row to put this series on ice. Terry Pendleton 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs in this big clinching game. Jose De Leon gets the win. And Ozzie Smith in a great series, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. They put up 6 runs in that 6th inning. Bob Force was hammered, and it was the 88 Cardinals that really made this a no contest, taking this series in 5 games. You can see it here. They lost the opener 8-4 after Smith hit that grand slam, but after that, it was 4 in a row for the Cardinals, including 3 on their side of the home field, to put an end to it. Let's look at the stats real quick for the 88 Cardinals who won it. You can see here, Tony Pena, 2 home runs. He hit .455. Horner at .421. Oquendo, 4 RBIs, .391. Pendleton, .333 with 5 RBIs. Vince Coleman hit .300. He even hit a home run. Willie McGee, 4 RBIs. You can see here, the average is very, very good for the 88 team. Pitching-wise, Todd Worrell, good out of the pen. Larry McWilliams as well. Joe McGrain did well in his start, allowing nothing and got the win. Bob Forsch, in this variety, did good in his inning of work. You can see here John Tudor with a 129, Jose De Leon a 219, and really most of their team doing good. Carpenter 2.45 ERA. Only a couple guys like Scott Terry really got lit up at all. For the losing side, Ted Simmons hit well, but was suffering illness in this series. You can see here Reggie Smith, 6 RBIs, but he got 4 of those in the opening game, so it was pretty quiet after that. Mike Tyson, 211. Hernandez only at 200 with 1 RBI. McBride struggled with a 182 average. And pitching-wise, you can see here, Elias Sosa got hammered pretty good. Bob Gibson made an appearance, didn't do well. Bob Force, their ace, a 7 ERA with a loss. McLaughlin got hammered. Garman, Ken Reynolds, Tommy Moore. The pitching for the 75 Cardinals, definitely the difference. Definitely letting them down. The MVP of the series, we're going to give it to the catcher, Tony Pena, who had a 2 home run game and really caught the staff magnificently, controlled the running game, and was just really, really solid defensively and offensively in the series. He hit .455. 4 RBIs, scored 7 runs, 818 slugging percentage, and 1.29 on the OPS. So Tony Pena gets the MVP. And this series, folks, is history. Series 168, a battle between Cardinals, goes the way of the 1988 team as Whitey Herzog and his club win it pretty easily and convincingly. So that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed this series 168. Once again, the 1988 St. Louis Cardinals handle the 1975 St. Louis Cardinals very handily. It's an upset in some terms, and they definitely deserve the win. So we'll talk to you soon for another series, but this one is a wrap. Glad you can join us, and hope you are doing well.